Hello everybody, thanks for joining me. In today's video I'm going to be sharing more comics that I acquired on my comic book hunt, where I go to my somewhat local comic book store, and for $100 I can fill one of these boxes up with what are in the bins. Now, please like and subscribe if you like these videos. I really appreciate everybody that's been watching them. I've been on YouTube for a while, like 6 years or something. But and I'm still like a small time streamer by every means. But these videos have been, like, I don't know, they seem much more popular than my usual stuff. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Please put any comments in there where, like, about what you think about what I pull out and what I chose. But here we go. This box is from the Something is Killing the Children comic. But there's none of that in the actual box. So what I like to do is I like to show what I picked and why I picked it. So I have plans to possibly sell on Whatnot, and I do have an eBay account. I'll put that in the description. I'm still having a hard time figuring out how the Whatnot streaming service works, or how to use my technology. So it's going to be a while, but I also will include a link so that if you want to join Whatnot, you can look into it. There's a lot of cool options on there, including giveaways. I did try briefly last week to run a giveaway. It was auction, and it was a disaster. All I did was give away a Batman issue, but somebody got it free, completely free. Even I paid for the shipping, so it was kind of cool. That's what I'll do. I don't know. As I get better with that, we'll see. But anyway, so I picked Savage Wolverine here, number 9, just because at that point, like, I'm digging through these bins, and it's eaten up like a long time of my day. And I eventually just said, hey, let's grab some of this because it looks fun. In the same area, because it's all, alphabetical, is Savage Hulk number 6 with Doctor Strange in it, obviously. Savage Hulk number 5. And it looks like that's probably, that's Doctor Strange again. We got Savage Hulk number 4. And Savage Hulk number 3. Savage Hulk number 2. So ideally what I want to be able to do is put an entire run up, or at least like a consecutive order or batch of it. Savage Hulk number 1, and this is actually what kicked off grabbing all the other ones. Is I saw that they had the original X-Men, including Havoc and Polaris, and I'm a big Havoc fan, so I'm always game to walk down that little memory road, or whatever you want to call it. This is, I grabbed a little bit of Batman. This is the War of Jokes and Riddles. It's 31 in the Rebirth line. Now, I see I'm in the reflection. It is a very shiny cover, or plastic bag. But anyway, I actually have read this digitally, but I have to work. This one I'm probably adding to my Batman collection, which I quit shortly after the 2012 or so New 52 era, so I still... being able to use this as an opportunity to continue my collection was nice. So then we got Uncanny Avengers 11. Uncanny Avengers 13. As you can see, Havoc's in there again. He was the team leader for at least a little while. So I read one issue. It's one of the only comics I've bought in the last 10 years that was like brand new. Like, I saw that he was in it and I had to know what was going on. I've liked Havoc since like 1991 or something. And like, that was when I first started reading comics. And if you trace his like progress since before then and after, it's amazing how far he's come. Like, he was like some late 60s X-Man that wasn't really getting utilized too much. And then all of a sudden, he went on to become like leadership material, and eventually, by this point, he was leading the Avengers, which included a version of Captain America on it. We got Uncanny Avengers 14. This is the first issue of the Uncanny Avengers. Oh, wait, no, this is the 15th issue. See, this is where it gets confusing here. I don't even know. Like, here's the first. No, this is the 18th issue, I think. And I guess this is the first issue of the storyline. They get really tricky with the number ones. Now this one's interesting. It's number 19. It's the Uncanny Avengers, and it's got Kang in it, which I picked up because I know enough to know he's in the Quantum Mania movie, but I have not seen it yet. No spoilers or anything, but if you do plan to see the Ant-Man and Wasp movie, make sure you watch the Loki show on Disney Plus first. Uncanny Avengers 20. I'm not sure how well my, it's kind of dark in here. I don't know how well this is coming off. The 21st issue here, which, I mean, these are just some really fun Havoc covers. And number 22. And 23. And I'm just grabbing this stuff at random, so there may be more of these things coming up in the show. Alright, so then here's a great example of I've got to get on Wikipedia or something just to figure out how to restore my X-Men collection, the Uncanny one. So this is Uncanny X-Men number 3, but it's Legacy issue 637. So, like, I don't even know where I left off. It was like 500 something, I think. And so I can add this to that group. This is the 5th issue, which is Legacy issue 624. Which doesn't make sense to me. Like, how do I go from 637 to 624? And they're different writers, so that means they are probably... Oh my god, alright, so this is 624, so they must have stopped this and then rebooted to this one. And it's just this sad attempt to get, like, issue number 1. Like, somebody's going to come along and be like, oh, this is going to be worth money because it's the number 1. And then the number 1 sell, that's my understanding. And I don't know. Then it's a pain when you go back and try to get an issue 1. Like, you want the whole storyline. But people bought up, like, 2 issues of number 1 because they think it might be worth something someday. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. Uncanny X-Men number 7. Number 8. Number 9. With Legion on the cover. And then we've got a 17, which is Legacy issue 639. But I mean, considering how much, this is what I'll say repeatedly, these are like $3 or $4 books when they were new, that I was able to get all of this for $100 to me seems pretty cool. Justice League 14, written by Jeff Johns, and art is Tony Daniel. This was the New 52 era up here. I mean, this is just some really cool looking covers. I may even already have that, but I figured I'd grab it to help my collection in case I didn't. I don't think I have this Justice League 28. Alright. Oh, and this was fun. This was like towards the end of like when I was getting ready to leave and I had to find just a few more things to pack this baby up. In fact, I wound up packing it up so much, it kind of broke. And then the guys at the store gave me a $5 discount, which was cool. But, alright, so Absolute Carnage storyline, Miles Morales number 3, written by Ahmed. I don't know the first name. But I'm really interested in learning more about Miles Morales. I've enjoyed his video game a lot, and I want to see how much of it matches up to that. Then there's this Avengers Plus X featuring Black Widow and Rogue on the cover, and I'll be honest, I thought this is a really neat looking cover, and I wouldn't mind reading about these two. This is issue 3, and it's the Avengers. I need more details about that. Featuring Vision, of course. This is the first issue of the Avengers, which, I mean, who knows how many reboots have taken place at this point, during the Absolute Carnage storyline, and Thompson is the writer. Then we've got some Scream here. Let's see, if you watched the Venom 2 movie, she's sort of in it, I think. No, that's Shrike. I don't know, it gets confusing. I don't know, I only watched that movie once and it was really a chore. So maybe this is an entirely different character. I think it kind of is. But I grabbed a few of these just about her in case maybe they're interesting or anyone is interested in them. Once again, if you see something, let me know, and I can prioritize it as far as trying to list it on Whatnot or eBay. If you do join Whatnot, please follow me, so you are aware when I start trying to sell stuff. The Amazing Mary Jane #3, and #2. And I even got a few #1s because, like I just said, we all think #1s are going to be worth something. I don't know much about this. I don't have high expectations, but when I could pack it into this box, I said I'd take a chance. And there's another #1, and a #3, and a #2. So I got these because I'm going to try to sell them in like sets. Oh, and then we got this Lethal Protectors featuring Iron Fist, Cloak and Dagger, and Morbius. Which, yeah, I have no clue if this has got fans or not. But the symbiotes seem to be pretty popular. Lethal Protectors 2. And there's Misty Knight on there, I believe. I only really know that from collecting action figures because I have her. There she is again. #3 with, I believe that's Dagger. Morbius, yeah. I mean, this might be an interesting team. I might enjoy that. Like, I'm also trying to read these while I work on things, and let me tell you, I just keep buying more, so it's this impossible heap of backlog and comics to read. But it's fun. Like, lately I've been reading like Justice League Dark, which is Wonder Woman leading a bunch of like magic-oriented characters like Constantine and Swamp Thing and Man-Bat. Anyway, this is the Amazing Spider-Man 383, which, even if I don't try to sell this, I can add this to my collection, because at this point, when this was current, I quit buying Spider-Man. Actually, I think I have this already. 385. 353, I definitely have this, but this is where I'm going to try to sell a set. Same with this. 354, 356, and this features, alright, not only do you have Moon Knight over here, when he was like, no one knew about him really. Night Thrasher from the New Warriors, which he's also over here. And then you got Punisher and Nova. Because the New Warriors, that was Nova, Night Thrasher, and a few other people. I remember when this was new, though. And then here we go, Punisher, Nova. And this was a big issue, part 6 of 6. There was only like one part that I wasn't able to find, part 3. It must be like somebody's first appearance or something. I have to look more into that. But I figure like Punisher and Spider-Man should be popular. And then once again, right here, this is a Larson cover. I'm sorry, not McFarlane. And I actually might keep this as issue 330 because I already have it, but I'm going to tell you right now, I know for a fact this comic that I have in my collection is beat up. I remember finding it in a convenience store and it was already beat up, but I know that this was an enjoyed comic. Back in 1990, yeah. So this was like, I was still very new to the collecting comics. Other than G.I. Joe and Transformers, I had been buying those, and I thought superhero comics were dumb until I guess like Batman 1989's film started my interest. Alright, so then this is Amazing Spider-Man 390, which I saw that Shriek was involved or something. Yeah, Shriek down here. And I knew something was up. I checked my phone while I was looking at it. Now, when this was new, apparently it was should have been polybagged, but somebody opened it so they could read it. So it's probably not worth as much as it could be. But then again, I'm going to read it, so it's not the end of the world. This is 391, and then I wasn't able to find the rest of that. And she was the character that was, I believe, in Carnage. Then we've got the Amazing Spider-Man 388, which I got just because it's fancy looking. I may be wrong, but I think my understanding is that this might be where like Spider-Man hit some rough writing eras, like the storyline with the clone and everything. Oh yeah, then we got 331 here, back again with the Punisher, which once again, I have this comic at least once already, but it's beat up. I found these, which as I've just said, I'm a Havoc fan. I already found this and it was in another video, the same kind of issue, but this is a different copy. This is the first part, and I couldn't find any more, but I grabbed them, even though I definitely already owned this. I figured why not. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I feel like they modeled this look after Michael Biehn, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, from Aliens and Terminator, which is also one of my favorite actors, which might be part of why I like Havoc. I don't know. So I found a run of Guardians of the Galaxy, which obviously is a modern era. This is 15, 16, 14, 13, and this is where, like, it's technically the 175th issue in their legacy run, but unless I'm mistaken, that also includes a run from, like, the 90s when it was a whole different group. But I'm not sure. That could all just also include just like what would be considered the Star-Lord group. We've got number 5 here, or legacy number 167, and number 7, which is legacy 157, I think. There's some pretty cool covers. I like that with the hand and the blood. And I have read a few Guardians of the Galaxy in modern times digitally, but the ones I read were by Bendis, and I didn't particularly care for them. I used to like Bendis as a writer, but my last attempts over the last, like, 15 or something, 10 years have been kind of disappointing. All right. I liked him when he was, like, I believe he used to write for Daredevil, and back then it was like I was buying that comic religiously. That was like 20 years ago. But I think he got overused, and then by the New Avengers, I think he started getting rough for me. All right, Guardians of the Galaxy 8. Number 9. And this is number 1, though technically it's 163. Jeez, man. I wish they'd been doing the legacy thing actually, technically, I wish they never ever did the reboot. This is number 10, which is legacy 160. And this is number 12, which, I'm just going to say that now. Then we got number 12. It's a variant cover. That is pretty cool. And we got issue 13. And this is issue 2 from whatever Guardians 3000 was. Then these are the Guardians that were the Guardians in the 90s and I think the 70s. Which they're in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 to an extent. Or at least some of them are. Like this character here, I believe what was his name? It might be Starhawk. I don't remember. That probably isn't Starhawk. It's something Hawk, I think. But Stallone kind of plays him. And this is Guardians 3000 number 1. The original Defenders of the Galaxy. And then we've got number 13 here. Trial of Jean Grey, part 6 of 6. Which I already have the first part, I think, from a previous run of these comics that I got. Number 7, variant edition. Prodigal Son, Guardians of the Galaxy number 1. Looks like it's written by Peter David. As I've talked about him in other videos, I enjoy his writing from Aquaman in the 90s and X Factor, which was when Havoc became a leader. So I don't recall ever reading something by him I did not enjoy or that didn't keep my interest. And then I also got a little experimental here with some Hawkeye. It's issue number 4. I got a big run of these. Number 5. And I got even a couple extras just to see if I could keep selling them. Or I'm curious to see if there's absolutely no interest. Let's see here. Number 8. I'm curious to see if maybe popularity is picking up after the show. Or not. Alright, some more Hawkeye. And there's another 12. This is the 4th issue of Hawkeye and Mockingbird from, I'm not sure when it was. This is the 5th issue. And this is the 3rd issue. Another 4th. And we got Hawkeye #1 from who knows when. Hawkeye #4. Oh, and this one was just fun. So this I got Nam #1. I remember this was already, I don't know, at least in their 30s or 40s of issues when I was buying comics, and it's comics using Vietnam as a storyline. And I almost got 3 of these, but then the other 2 kind of faded in here. Like, I didn't even know they were faded till I saw this one's like a bright red. And I don't know, I just think it looks really cool. Now, also, somewhere in like the 30s or so, they involved Frank Castle, the Punisher, like, because he was in and if you want to look into that, let me know if that helps you, because I almost got like the 3rd part was the only issue they had, but it was like messed up along the side, and I took a picture of it just to remind myself. I might look into that someday. So the power of Shazam. So if you're ever looking for Shazam comics, I believe you have to look for the power of Shazam. And I was just kind of curious if his sequel coming up and the Black Adam movie maybe could kick up some interest in people. This is issue number 33. Back in December of 1997, they did like I believe they're just like face pictures and or covers. And I didn't get it then, but I got this now. So we got 33 9s here. 10, which I was excited about this because Black Adam's on there. As well as I believe that's the Wizard Shazam. Got 27 over here. 29. 32. And there might be more in the box, I'm not sure. Alright, and this one, as I've already said a couple times, Havoc's one of my favorite characters. I got this just for myself. It is beat up. I could have ordered it for maybe $5 or something on eBay in decent condition, but that included like $5 shipping. So I figured I would take this off the store's hands. Marvel Team Up 69 with Spider-Man. You know, Spider-Man was the headliner, and it's every issue he's got another person with him. And I was just kind of impressed that someone was like, let's put him with Havoc for this one. Curious to see how that goes. Oh, yes. And then I stumbled across, there was like a modern Marvel Team Up, and this has Punisher and Blade in it, and I'm just kind of curious about that one. And Kirkman wrote it. And this one's kind of beat up, but it just looks fun. It's Spider-Man and The Thing, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, and Quasar. Which, I mean, I feel like, aside from Quasar, that's a pretty cool group. I mean, I would think the common person that just watches the movies might find that interesting. At the very least, it's a big comic, too. Alright, so I got this Uncanny Avengers Annual #1, which once again we got Havoc. And this time it looks like we got Mojo, Ghost Rider, Blade, Man-Thing, Doctor Strange. Maybe that's Scarlet Witch. I don't think so, though. She's looking good, whoever it is. But anyway, why not? Uncanny Avengers #25. And Uncanny Avengers #1. With Lady Thor, Black Widow, and some other people. Wow, I do not even know who that is. Maybe there's like alternate realities going on. I don't know. But I'm not expecting to like that if I ever get around to reading it. I stumbled across a Despicable Deadpool 289 with Cable here. So, I mean, their little section for Deadpool, I didn't even know they had one. Like, I found this by accident, so I grabbed it. Not exactly a huge Deadpool fan, but I know a lot of people are. Oh, Champions, Miles Morales, Kid Nova. I don't know if it's the same Nova. I doubt it. And Miss Marvel. I said, why not? It's actually by the same writer as that New Avengers I just put up, which is kind of coincidental. This is written by Wade, who, generally speaking, I like his work. And we got like a young Cyclops in here from the past that traveled into the future. At least I assume that's what it is. It is maybe a little beat up, but at the very least, I don't know. We'll see. Could wind up being a giveaway on whatnot. #6. Maybe it's, I don't know, there's just like a fuzzy thing there. Alright. And Champions #10. number 12. And this I got because alright, so like I said, I collect action figures, and one of them that I've got is this Captain America with a wolf head. And I've never read this, but not too long ago in one of these runs, I found one of these issues. I don't remember what number it is, but I got it just because I wanted to read more. Then I realized it's a 6-part series, so I was like, man, I should really read the whole thing. So I found part 3, part 5. I'm not sure what the part I already got was, but I got what I could find. And I'm curious to learn more about that. I'm not expecting to be impressed, but you never know. Uncanny Avengers number 19 from 2017. I appreciate that they at least started being like, hey, so this is the 19th issue in 2017, or I gotta look into even finding out if this is like, all right, let's see here. Man, 2000, I don't, what the, I'll do that on my time, but it's just, gosh, man, I'll tell you. I remember just when it was something where, like, kids had to realize that for X-Men 1 from 1993 was not the same thing, or is it 91? I think it's 91, is not the same as X-Men from 1963. But now it's so convoluted. So we got issue 20, issue 21 with Cable there, and then 27, and we got Uncanny Avengers 2, Uncanny Avengers number 3, and Uncanny Avengers number 4. All right. This I got because, and I think I might show it in a video, one of the other videos. I got an American Vampire 1976 number 1, which prompted me to start reading them digitally. And I found this, like, on this run, I was like, hey, remember to look for some American Vampire, and this is number 5. And it is, what's interesting is Stephen King was involved on some level. So I don't know, I just want to grab it. I like vampires, what can I say? I'm basic. And then this was the last thing I squeezed in the box, and the rest of the story is probably somewhere in the box because I couldn't fit them in the same spot. This is Aquaman number 1 in a 5-issue miniseries from 1989. And this is a pretty cool cover. I really, at this point, was running out of ideas of what I wanted. And I like Aquaman. I'm curious about him at times. And at the very least, I saw an opportunity maybe to get a complete storyline, even though it might not be the most ideal condition. This is number 2 of 5 and number 3 of 5. This one I can feel has got some issues going on. Yeah, and there's more coming up with that. Although I'm sure most of you are not on the edge of your seat for that. Uncanny Avengers number 5. Or is it? And this has a 5 down here. That's the best I can tell you. I just think this is an interesting group here. We got Havoc, Thor, Rogue, Sunfire, Wasp, Captain America, Wonder Man, Wolverine, and Scarlet Witch. And then we got number 6. Looks like Thor's dealing with Apocalypse. And number 7. I read a little bit of this. Like, I have the trade paperback somewhere for some of it. Like this one, I think. And it was just really kind of confusing as to what was going on. Like, they were in a different timeline or dimension, I think. Then this is a number 8 here, which got confusing because there was another number 8. And I'm like, yeah, this one with Kang. And I don't know what's going on. Same writer. I don't know if it's just a variant. But I don't think so because I see other people involved. And I don't know. Uncanny Avengers number 9. Number 10. Oh, and this one, I got the first issue of the Ultimate Comics X-Men and read that like maybe 4 nights ago. And now in this run, I actually found like the batch of the section where most of the comics were. I still don't have 2 or 3, but I got 4. 5, and this is like from their Ultimate X-Men World number 6, which I remember because I'll still, even though I haven't been buying comics in recent times, I'll still be in the store and look at stuff. And Shadowcat Kitty Pryde is one of my, she's like my second favorite X-Men after Havoc, sometimes maybe my number one. And I remember seeing this cover and liking it and wanting to get it, but I couldn't justify spending $4. But this time I went for it. But anyway, this is number 7. This is set in the Ultimate X-Men or Ultimate Universe. Oh shoot! However, look at that. Number 8, which I don't know when I last read it, but a lot had happened since this, and I think this is like from 2011 or something. So it's old even now, really. Number 9, number 10. I think these are really cool covers. Number 11, number 12. Which I don't know if that's Quicksilver or someone else. And number 13, which I really just enjoy that I just grabbed like a good batch of like a storyline right there. All right, let me get on here. Oh, all right, let me do this because I don't want anything getting damaged. All right. So got Uncanny X-Men 14, or I mean Ultimate X-Men 14. Ultimate X-Men comic, Ultimate Comics X-Men number 15, 16, 17, 18, 18.1, which I don't know. What's that about? I don't know if they just wanted to crank out another issue for sales that year or whatever. I found this. Somebody had hidden this. I think it was like where you would find like the Savage Avengers and stuff. It was the Secret Revealed X-Men, which is just X-Men 54, where Onslaught gets revealed. And I don't know. It looked like it might actually be worth something, so I grabbed the three I saw. Savage Wolverine number 7, which I dig that cover. Alright, so I did find a batch of Iron Man stuff, which that part of when I go to these places or this comic store, they'll restock it with stuff, and a large part of the fun is going there and seeing what I can find. This is issue 256, which I have this, but it was all beat up, and this is a really nice cover, and I use this as an opportunity to get a nicer copy of it, which is the same exact story as this. This is issue 253. Does not look like anything amazing. I mean, it's good art, but I know for a fact that the comic that I have, the copy I have, is beat up. Like the staples and everything, the spine are torn up, so this is a chance to get a better version. Alright, and you can guess why I picked this astonishing 17 here. That's Havoc. Alright. Which, I mean, it looks like the dude gets around. This is his group 2, number 14, with Dazzler and Beast. I've read a little bit of that digitally. 15. Number 1 of the Astonishing X-Men, and this is at least the second, because I know the first one was Joss Whedon. This might not even be the second. It gets so confusing. I know that's Old Man Logan. We got Bishop, Mystique, Psylocke, Rogue, Phantom X, which I do not care for, and Archangel and Gambit. I think it looks kind of old. I don't know. It could be a future version. I have no clue. This one I got just because I know I don't already have it. It's the Rob Liefeld Avengers from like 1996 here, when after the Onslaught situation, the anyone that wasn't a mutant basically, or Daredevil and Spider-Man, got sent to like a pocket universe by Franklin Richards. Spoiler alert if you didn't already know it, but it was a while ago. And they used it as an opportunity to reboot the Avengers, Fantastic Four, Captain America, Thor, and that might have been it. don't know if Hulk got rebooted or not, but I don't think he did. But it was also their time to bring in like the big names like Rob Liefeld, Jim Lee, and I don't think I have this. I might have it, but I know Rob Liefeld's pretty controversial. He's the guy that created Deadpool and Cable, but I thought, I still think his art is nice looking. All right, Avengers 674. Man, I don't even know what to say. Avengers 50. From the Busick run, which it's actually they started doing this. Oh, I think this is a while ago. It's actually 465. Here's another Liefeld issue, number 7 and number 8. I have somebody once. Is that still? I don't know. At some point, I think Jim Lee takes over for him because I don't think he was meeting his deadlines, which is part of why he's controversial. Yeah, that is Jim Lee down there. Astonishing X-Men number 5 of 5. I believe I found all of these. Yeah, 4 out of 5. This once again is another. This is the Warren Ellis version. 3 out of 5, which is known. He's known for like Preacher. He did some really cool Punisher stuff. Number 2 out of 5. And number 1 out of 5, which is a fancy looking cover featuring Storm and Beast. Alright, so this is going to be part of the Iron Man grab. And this is what I'm kind of curious what do you guys think? Now, until like Robert Downey Jr. played him in the movies, I don't think Iron Man had nearly as big a following as he does now. But if you look, his comics are pretty affordable for the most part. We got 266, 267, 268, which that's pretty cool. That's him in the original OG armor. 269, 270, which I was able to get a lot of this storyline, maybe all of it, where he's got features. Mandarin, Fin Fang Foom, 271. 272. All right, so I didn't get this is 273, I should say. Looks like I didn't get to 272. 274. Oh, this is part 4 of that Aquaman story, and this is the 5th part, the final part. 275 with the Mandarin, which Iron Man 3 left a bad taste in my mouth with how they could portray the Mandarin. But then the Shang-Chi movie came out and a little over a year ago, and they fixed my issues that I had with Iron Man 3. Still not 100% comic book accurate, but what is. But they made it so I can actually watch Iron Man 3 and maybe enjoy it. I was really bitter about Iron Man 3 because I went in there looking forward to seeing the Mandarin, and it was almost like they pulled a fast one that was an insult to anyone that actually read the books and knew who the Mandarin was supposed to be. But anyway, so then this was exciting to me. I found some, in my opinion, are pretty old Iron Mans, like 176 here, 180. 182, which I know I bought this back when I was in college, just because Tony Stark's whole alcoholism aspect really interested me. They kind of touched on the second Iron Man a little bit, there's a little bit of a tick down here, but I don't know. 183. I thought that was interesting because offhand I can't think of too many characters that battle alcoholism. I mean, I know Constantine will drink and smoke and stuff, or at least he's smoking a lot, but 184. I don't know. I think it's just interesting. 203. I really like this cover of Madame Mask, and I don't know if that's Black Widow or somebody else. 206. 210. And there was another copy, but it was beat up just like this. But I've also learned since it's got what I would call the UPC code. It's the newsstand edition. The other one even had a different look over here. And I've learned that generally newsstand versions are more in demand if they're in nice condition, because the non-newsstand newsstand ones make their way to, like this one here, like went to a comic book store where they probably get taken care of better than, when it's in a newsstand, it's on like a shelf or rack and getting beat up more likely. 214, 217, 227, and in this he's fighting these mandroids, which are, I believe they're shield units, and usually I've seen them in the X-Men before. 228 versus the Captain, which is U.S. agent at that time. 230, 231, 237, 240. Oh, yeah, he's fighting, I think his name's Blizzard Boomerang, not Captain Boomerang. I don't remember the other two. 244, 245, 247, and he's got the Hulk, who was gray at that point. 248, 249 with Dr. Doom, or it may turn out to be a Doombot. I've seen that happen before. Man, I'm always surprised how long it takes me to show these comics. But it's fun, at least for me. Savage Wolverine number 8 with Elektra. Batman. Oh, we're almost coming all full circle here. 34. Batman 51. The Cold Days, which I would assume this involves Mr. Freeze, but I could be wrong. I've read those, I know that. 53. 92. And 94 was the most current issue they had in the box for Batman. And then we've got 82, City of Bane. And it's a variant cover. But, alright, that's it. Thanks for watching. Like I said, please like and subscribe. Look for the links that I'm going to add in the description for Whatnot, and I'll include my eBay store name. And just let me know what you thought, whether you thought I made some bad decisions or good ones. Thank you.